Good evening, Gavin.
Good evening, TC. Welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Curran's Curran View with the Isle of Hillsborough and Mr. Terry Curran. Steady away, son, how are you? Sunday night, it's earlier this week because Chris is going to Turkey on Wednesday, so there will be no Curran View next week, but pretty much penultimate week of the season and the end of the season for the League One and League Two games. How's it been and what have you sourced for us, Magic Moments-wise?
I was going to say, well, next week I'm away. Not next week, week after. I go away on 4th. Well, I'm going to Whitby for 4 days.
Lovely.
So I'm away for then. But other than that, I had a trip to hospital yesterday. Other than that, I would have gone to Hillsborough.
Yeah.
Fabulous result for us. Not a bad result for you in one sense, I suppose, was it? I mean, I thought they may have beat Huddersfield, but it's going to be interesting next week with the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I did predict that two really, really poor sides, Huddersfield and Birmingham, and I fancied a 0-0 draw. Okay, it was 1-1, but I didn't fancy either to win. And I think in terms of Birmingham, when you go to the two worst teams in the league, both now relegated, and can only score one goal and you get 2 points, I think that says it all for the predicament that they're in. But Hillsborough...
Early on, I thought Birmingham, well, they should have had 2 or 3.
Yeah,
and then later on, Huddersfield should have had 2 or 3. So,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, again.
It's a weird game, football.
Well, it is a funny game. I watched Chelsea-Villa last night. Villa 2-0 up at half-time. Chelsea 2-2, almost nicked it at the end. But how many times do we see that? I mean, we've seen last week Man United 3-0 up against Coventry and pegged it back. I mean, now teams are throwing 3-0. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
They did me on my half-times, Man United.
What, yesterday against Burnley or Coventry?
They were absolutely poor against Coventry.
Yeah. I mean, Ten Hag, we'll get onto that a little bit later. Ten Hag reckons that's not the case. But I don't know whether he's been snorting something or taking...
There's a lot of these. It's like what's going on in the world. They'll always deny
it's absolute,
the crime.
Is it denial or is it absolute delusion? I don't know.
Denial.
Well, it may be both. To be fair, it might be a bit of both.
If you turn around and say, well, we poor, this player's bad, you're going to lose everything.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at it, it looks as though he's lost everything as it is.
Yeah, again, denial.
But it's not good on the eye to watch. That's a certainty.
Absolutely, denial and delusional. He said that they're exciting and one of the best teams to watch are Manchester United. I think there's only Ten Hag that believes that. Everybody else that's watched them would differ to his opinion, but he's entitled to it.
Well, exactly. You're right there. 100%. He's entitled to his opinion. But if he thinks that the rest of us thinks that's exciting to watch, then maybe we are delusional.
Yeah, I don't think it's like, in a ground when so many of these decisions are given by a referee and he appears to be the only person in the ground that believes that to be the case. We are going to get onto the offside rule, or what we know or don't know about the offside rule, a little bit later. But what magic moments did you source for us? And it was 3 magic moments, of course, at Hillsborough. Put the Albion to the sword. And, of course, Albion needed to get something from that game because they're not safe in the playoff positions at the moment.
No, but that was as good as I've seen Wednesday play and all. So that was brilliant to say. I mean, if they'd have got the 4 points on those 2 games, Swansea and Stoke City, when they were, winning both games, they'd be safe now.
Yeah, I mean, we can.
I still think they're going to be safe now, but I still think they'll be safe. But the magic moment, as usual, there's that many great goals being scored. It is unbelievable to, that we. Well, the great thing about it is that the cameras at all the stadiums, and we do see there's some great goals. I'm going for 2 goals. They're both Hutchinson's of Ipswich from last night. I thought it was a cracking game, that and all.
Yeah. I was watching the Villa game, but that boy, Hutchinson, he looks some player. I mean, I've seen a few things that he's done this season in terms of goals, performances, the results for Ipswich Town. And I think he's been, very much a part of everything that's been positive about Ipswich. Absolutely, yeah. I think he's been
instrumental.
And he's only a young'un as well, isn't he?
The good thing about him, he goes past people left and right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is such a dangerous ploy to have in your team, that you've got a player what can go past people with ease.
And both sides.
Yeah.
Because it keeps the defender guessing.
And to finish and score goals like he did last night.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Two great goals.
I just think he's got everything in his game.
In fact, how they didn't score it dead. I thought it was a cracking game. And I thought Hull nicked it.
Mm.
I know it sounds a bit daft when Ipswich could have scored at the end.
Yeah.
He goes past somebody, he has a great shot, and how they didn't score in the last minute or two, Ipswich, I just don't know.
Mm.
But he looks a terrific prospect. They look a good team, Ipswich. He hadn't half turned them round.
Again, we've said it all season, haven't we? I mean, they got promoted with you guys. I mean, Wednesday and Plymouth are both, just above the drop zone. And Ipswich Town right up there in amongst Leicester and Leeds. It's quite incredible what McKenna has done. And again, go back, we've said it many times on the podcast, he hasn't spent an awful lot of money. He's made them competitive in that league because he's improved players, he's played to a system, and they're good to watch. A little bit like what Burnley were last season. They do play some good football.
Yeah, terrific. But what I will say is this. You look at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they were 12 points behind the third, but out of the relegation zone.
They were dead. They were down with the dead men, weren't they?
Yeah, for the 12 points in December.
Mm.
Right? Do you know if they beat Sunderland on Saturday? They're either 2 or 3 points behind them.
I think you'll beat Sunderland. We will get onto the football forecast.
So
at the end
what
of the podcast.
He's done at Sheffield Wednesday, and this is what I've always said.
Yeah.
Yes, it's easier for Pep Guardiola, and there's nothing easy because you have to keep all the players happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's come in, made few changes in a sense.
Yep.
Because he can't buy anyone.
No, not at all.
He's only got a couple of players on loan.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's done is phenomenal with the players he had. Not complained about it, got on with it.
But good managers and good coaches have that belief in themselves. They see what they've got. It's no good moaning about what I've got. Okay, they're not my players, but I'm going to improve these players, and I'm going to bring in other players when I can. You
have to improve them and get the best out of them. And you've just hit the nail on the head, and you've just covered it really, really well, because that's what he's done. And I have to get the best out of him.
Absolutely. And let's just say many happy returns to Danny Rowland. What a fantastic job you've done, young man. I mean, the success and the fortune and the momentum that Sheffield Wednesday have got under Danny Rowland might be instrumental in my team, Birmingham City, getting relegated. But I always look at what we do as a team. I never look at any other team's results. It's what you do. And if you're in the bottom three after 46 games, you deserve to be in the bottom three after 46 games. But we just look at Danny Rowland, what he's done at Sheffield Wednesday, a great club, a great fan base. I mean, you're going to be taking maybe, 7,000-8,000 to
and
Sunderland
maybe more,
next.
to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Wednesday will take as many as they can, and many of them won't be in the ground.
What allocation tickets they get, they will sell.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, the atmosphere on Saturday, looking at it all.
Yeah.
Well, I know, because I know what it's like when it's full.
Yeah, you've played there.
Right? It would have sell out early on last week.
Yep.
And, yes, the players have done it because they've given the fans something to shout about. Mm-hmm. It could have gone other way where they got beat and the fans would have probably been moaning.
Yeah.
But it just shows you with any form of success what a fabulous football club it is and fantastic support they have.
Absolutely. So good luck to the Owls next week at Sunderland. My magic moments, T. I'm picking one from midweek. Mateta's goal for Palace against Newcastle.
Brilliant.
It was just as much for the pass and go rather than the finish. I thought it was absolutely sublime.
And he got them playing well.
Oh, again,
Same
another
players.
foreign coach that comes in, improves the players, gives them the platform to play, makes them play in a more positive manner. Okay, they're not going to go gung-go and just go for everything like idiots. They understand that they've got to keep it tight and compact when they haven't got the ball. When we've got the ball, let's pick out our players. Let's play football. Let's not fear. And well done to Crystal Palace and the fella that's come in. And the players clearly are buying into what he's saying. And the evidence is there on the football pitch.
Look at, what these foreign coaches look at,
playing football,
is the technical side of the game.
Exactly.
You listen to an English coach.
Yep.
And listen to the pundits, especially the ones what played with the elite clubs.
Yep.
Mark my words, what I'm going to tell you now, I'll guarantee you, they will repeat what I'm going to say to you is this. These are not his players.
Yep.
Wait while he gets his players in he wants, and then judge him.
Yeah. Biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. It's incredible.
Yeah, but that's what you get from them.
I know. And that's but then the idiots that listen, not the clever people, the idiots that listen.
Yeah, but why would you get the elite players? What's pundits now? Now, can you see why they fail in management?
Well, again, this is the thing.
I don't mean that's horrible to them.
No,
exactly. It baffles me how Lampard and Gerrard,
but it's the attitude,
are not successful in management.
It's the attitude, isn't it? You look, if you've got an Englishman, a foreign player, a South American, European, whatever, and you throw a ball to one of their players, I'll lay you a pound to a penny. They'll have much more technical ability than what our players have got.
But that's
just the way that they've always been brought up.
Part of that is not our players' fault.
No, it's our coaching.
Because they want to play team and they're frightened to death.
Absolutely.
And listen, I've been at football clubs when they tell them, get off.
Yeah.
Don't be doing any more training. Save your energy until Saturday.
Yeah.
They're allowed to express themselves in training.
But I would imagine as well the foreigners would do more ball work in training.
Yes.
I mean, how many times do you hear a pundit go on about the physicality of a player? Bollocks. I want to listen and hear about and watch the skill
100%.
of a player.
That does my head in that. I listened to Glenn Hoddle the other day with... Now, I started laughing at this.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a player who got so much ability, it's untrue.
Yeah.
But I couldn't stop laughing at it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, why would you come out with a stupid statement like that? He said, I haven't given up about going into management, and he shouldn't do. Right? Because, he came out of the game on a... Well, I believe he came out of the game because of media, or a media person had got it in for him. And said something different to what he was saying. He was saying something about people with disability, but he wasn't saying it how the media was saying it.
And he'd said it a couple of years previously.
This is what I laughed at. Now listen to this. He had the soccer schools. I don't know what's happened to them, whether they're finished or not.
Yeah.
He said, what I would like to do is to go and get into football so players have got both feet. Can use both feet. And I'm thinking to myself,
incredible, unbelievable, isn't it?
I cannot believe it's come from somebody like Glenn Hoddle, but he does understand the game.
Yeah.
Do you know the best way to practice your own foot, as you would say?
Yeah, kick a ball up a wall.
Go into the gym, because they have all gyms now. We didn't have gyms in my day. We had to do it against the wall. I'm telling you, practicing that ball, banging it against the wall with your bad foot, it will come back to you at a pace and at angles that you have to adjust your body to get in line with it.
Absolutely. And if you're playing football in the street, hitting up the curb.
Why is he coming out with such a silly... And it is a silly statement.
It's ridiculous.
Because no Premier League player should not be able to use both feet.
Been saying it for years, haven't we? Been saying it for years. It's embarrassing that a player, you learn it from a commentator, and they'll say these are the two things that really, really do make me laugh. Oh, it's on his wrong foot.
Minimum of 40
it,
grand a week,
yeah,
minimum.
absolutely.
And can't use both feet.
Or it's come to him too early. It's come to him too early.
He was a top class quality coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? To come out with that statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if I were to manage at a football club, I'd pull all my young coaches in from the academies. I said, listen, I want 10, 15 minutes. If we have not got a gym, I want 10 or 15 minutes only using the wrong foot.
Yeah. George Best used to take his boot off, didn't he, play with his other foot in training?
Yeah.
I would say, if I was a manager, I would say, I'd go from the club.
But players should want to do it.
Exactly. Young man, how can you play golf off scratch and can't kick the ball with your other foot?
I'll give you 2 points.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One what I've just said here.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas our pundits, which is elite pundits, I'm talking about Keane and Neville and all that.
Yeah.
Right? Talking about wait till we get his own players in and then judge them and judge that manager on that.
Yeah.
Why would they come out with a statement? A coach has got to go in there and try and hit the ground running.
Spot on. Just like what Danny Roll's done. Spot on. And
not make excuses.
No.
Straight away. When you take that job and they're in the bottom 3 or the bottom.
Yeah. The only way is up.
You've only got that job because it's not going well.
Exactly. You ain't going to get him through the top 3.
Not to say, it's not my fault. They were down here, but now.
Yeah.
Why take the job?
Mm. I mean, do you remember David Moyes when he took over at Sunderland? And he pretty much says, didn't he say that we got no chance of getting promoted or something, or we're going to get relegated? I can't remember his exact words, but it was very derogatory about the team. David Moyes, when he took over at Sunderland,
yes,
he pretty much talked him down before.
But he says that everywhere he goes.
Exactly. Well, what's the point in coming and managing if you are so negative?
I never forget this.
Yeah.
Howard Wilkinson takes over at Sunderland.
Yeah.
You know the first thing he said?
Go on.
They're not fit enough.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of the season or coming towards the end of the season.
I find that amazing.
How can the players not be fit?
I have no idea. I have no idea how a professional footballer cannot be fit.
I'll walk into a football club now, and I haven't been in the game for years.
Yeah.
I'll walk into a football club now, right? And I'll tell you the players what are fit and not fit.
Yeah.
And I don't need the scales.
Yeah.
Because you can see body fat.
Absolutely.
You can see body fat of players.
I mean, you've got players of elite ability. Your Ronaldos, your Messis, and we know who all the top players are. But you can have a player that's playing in this first division, League One or League Two. He hasn't got as much ability as them. Clearly he hasn't. That's why he's playing that level. But he can be just as bloody fit as them. He can be even fitter than what they are.
Yeah.
There's no reason why any professional footballer cannot be as fit as the next one. I'm not saying he's going to be as good or as competent or as composed and as skillful, because he doesn't.
You should, as a coach or as a manager, be able to see if that player's not fit. And what I mean by that player being not fit, but he's carrying excess body fat.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
The first time I saw the Premier League game was Arsenal playing Birmingham City. I went to watch Birmingham and Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how lean those players were.
I
was invited into a box. I went down to Birmingham.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you that. They were in the Premier League then, Birmingham.
That was a few years ago, the happy days.
Yeah.
I think
a few years ago.
Was it the game Arsenal smashed us 4-0 and we clapped them off the pitch? I mean, like they were some team under Wenger. But again, there's
Just 1 second, Gabby. Can you remember when we went to Birmingham to watch Arsenal play? What score can you remember? It's a long time ago. It was a long time ago. A friend of mine who was a Sheffield Wednesday is a Birmingham fan, but not Birmingham fan, Sheffield Wednesday fan, but he's from Birmingham.
Okay.
But his mate had got a box. They wanted to take me down and meet his mates and that. So I took Tom and Jock. I could not believe, and I'd been at it game then. But when I looked when I looked at those players, I could not believe, because when I was playing football, I saw players carrying excessive fat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So, I mean, look at Cloughie. Prime example of this. He knew John Robertson was carrying body fat.
Yeah.
What did he call him?
Fat lad.
We've got a little fat left winger here. What will destroy you?
Yeah.
If that had been any other coach, he would not have been in team. Because he knew Robertson's strengths.
Yep.
Right? So he didn't cause Robertson a problem and take away his energy levels, right? Just to make him look leaner and more fitter.
Yeah.
He wanted him to use his natural talent. Right? That's why you should be able to handle any football club you go into, right? Keep it to yourself if you don't think that player, because you may need to use that player the following week on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yep.
And in this day and age, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right? I can't see us having a top elite manager unless we change and start to work and get out of the box. Don't keep trying to put pegs in round holes if they only fit in squares.
Absolutely. Absolutely, too. Take a leaf out of the foreign coach's book. Phoenix Patterson.
I wouldn't even take a leaf out of anybody's book. I'd know it myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to work something out, how to stop a team and how to score goals.
Yeah. Absolutely, too. That's the name of the game. You've got to A, stop them scoring, and B, score yourself. That's the problem with Nottingham Forest at the moment. Letting in too many goals can score, but letting in too many goals, it ain't looking good for them. It looks as though it may be, them or Luton. Burnley still, with games to play, are looking half decent, picking up results here and there. So it's going to be nip and tuck. We'll be talking about that more next.
Everton's 10 points clear. They play Luton on Friday night.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're 10 points clear now of the bottom three.
Yeah, Everton really have pulled away and they're safe. It looks as though it's out of those. Well, 3 from those 4 now.
3 from 4.
Absolutely.
Forest, Burnley, Sheffield United's gone.
Yeah, Sheffield United they have actually got relegated.
Been relegated,
now.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're looking at Burnley, Forest, and Luton, and all 3. Really, to be fair, on the day, do look as though they can win games of football, but it's always been not their offensive play that's been the problem. It's been pretty much what they've done defending and making stupid mistakes, and largely, again, trying to play out from the back when you can't play, or there's a time and a place to do it, and sometimes, put your foot through it, beat the press, and then start playing in the middle third rather than trying to pass on your own byline and causing untold damage. But
you get that, Gabby. Look at Tottenham today.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
what's he doing?
They're a top team.
Yeah.
And you look at it's the mistakes. He ain't playing out from the back.
No, exactly. It's the mistakes they're playing. What was he doing, David Raya? He's got there. He's trying to pick his pass out. Well, I don't know. I think he got caught in two minds.
If he's not on, don't play that ball.
Absolutely. Exactly. And this is it. They've got to work out for themselves when to play the ball to their... Douglas Luiz done it last night against Chelsea. When the pass is on and when the pass isn't on. If the pass isn't on, we've got to go a little bit longer and we'll play in that middle third and work our way through that way.
I watched part of that game last night, Villa and Chelsea. I watched part of that game.
Villa played some great stuff first half.
I watched the majority of the old Ipswich game.
Yeah.
But I watched part of that game. And I'm analysing Chelsea and I'm thinking to myself, 1 minute these look a very good team. Next minute they look a very ordinary team.
Panel beaters.
They go to Villa, batter them 3-0. Villa go to Arsenal, beat them 2-0.
Yeah.
Right? But Tom stopped in. I'm saying to Thomas, watch this. Look at Chelsea. You look at Manchester City, you look at Chelsea.
Yep.
One plays with a tempo.
Yep.
One slowing it down.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Now, everybody's going to get behind the ball and get into positions if you play with a slow tempo.
Of course they are.
Right? But if you play with a quick tempo, you've got more chance of losing the ball.
Yeah.
But the quality players will not always, but 8 out of 10 will make sure that they get the final accurate pass in.
Yeah.
Chelsea are too slow with the tempo, and that's one of the reasons why they look at Audrey T, because they have got good players.
Yeah, they have.
He has to balance it up, right, Pochettino, and that's what elite managers do. They balance it up.
Again,
if we get our team balanced up for this European Championship, we win it.
Yeah. And again, going back to Chelsea, we spoke about it on the podcast last week. You could get Solanke and stick him in that Chelsea team, make a world of a difference, because Chelsea pretty much need that natural-born goal scorer that they haven't got at the moment. I mean, it's quite laughable, really. Lukaku playing out there at Roma, and he's had a great time again in Italy. When you look at his goal-scoring record for Belgium, Lukaku scored goals wherever he's gone. and it just hasn't been exactly barring Chelsea, and it is quite bizarre. But again,
West Brom, Everton, Man United in Italy,
absolutely.
The twice he's played for Chelsea, never looked like being able to score goals.
Apart from when he come on in the second half against the Villa and absolutely destroyed them.
No, but
Christmas
I'm on about
couple of years ago. No, absolutely, yeah. But again, whenever I have looked at Lukaku, he's always looked a bloody handful and a goal threat, and I just don't understand why he's not playing for Chelsea.
Play to his strengths.
Well, exactly, T. And that's
play
it.
To his
play
strengths.
to his strengths.
What do they all talk about?
Yeah.
Listen, Roy Keane, another one, comes out with the most stupidest statement, and you'll think I might be wrong, about Haaland being a League Two player.
No, he's a good player. Haaland being my team all day long.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, he's on about his touch and all this.
I think that was a bit to do with his old man as well.
Play to his strengths.
Exactly, yeah.
And his strength is going up beyond and scoring goals.
Yeah.
And what you can't do, you can't educate and teach a player to be in the right position as a goal scorer.
You look at his goal today.
Great goal scorers score more tap-ins than anything else.
Absolutely, they're in that position because they're great goal scorers. I mean, he's still top of the pops in the goal scoring charts. I mean, his goal today, I think that the defender thought he was going to come back on his left foot, and he didn't. He shimmied to go that way, and he went on his right and just
because his first touch were good.
Absolutely,
he took him, then he got. I mean, for a big lad,
yeah.
He's got pace. He's got every mortal thing. I mean, he scored 20 odd goals this season. And let me tell you something. I don't know how many times Guardiola's brought him off.
Yeah, and he's been injured.
For what reason? For resting, for whatever reason.
Injuries.
But that will affect his confidence, because he'll be frustrated. He'll want to score goals.
Yeah.
And not only does he want to score goals, he wants to break records.
Yeah, of course he does. Absolutely.
So I'm telling you, he'll be frustrated. Look at Mo Salah yesterday with Klopp.
Right, is he fit, won't it? Yeah.
So don't tell me about players, right? Because you can have best players in the world like Ronaldo. They all have the tantrums if they get brought off or if they're not getting picked.
100%. And like with Salah, I mean,
I don't think Messi would, because he would.
Of course I would. You've said it before, so
I've told you all about
exactly.
It.
So many podcasts, exactly. Right. But you see, the thing is, you have been there. You have been a professional footballer. You've been in the dressing room. You know the psyche of a player. It makes me laugh when you get all these fans that argue with professional footballers if they actually know better. They've never kicked a ball on a professional football pitch. We as fans have no idea.
That's why I talk about elite managers, because they can handle that scenario where players get the head down and get frustrated or whatever, angry, right? With a manager, but those elite managers know how to turn it around quickly in 100%. Their favour.
And what did you say? The minute that Potter walked through the door at Chelsea, what did you say on the Curran View podcast? It's how he manages them players and their egos. And you need an elite manager for elite players.
I praised him at Brighton, played some great football.
He did.
I said, now he's got his chance. His downfall will be whether he can handle big name players.
100%, yeah, and you were right. Again,
and anybody can go back for that day we spoke about Potter, and that's what I said.
Everything's
If
recorded.
he can handle players,
Yep.
the elite players, he'll be a good manager. Listen,
100%. We've done
I know
191
Graham
now.
Souness is one of the greatest players in this country.
Yep.
In British Isles. Right? A lot of players couldn't lace his boots.
Yep.
Well, they didn't want to play for him. They were frustrated with him because he had the old school ways of coaching.
Yep.
Aggression.
Yep.
Now that's great for him because he's got ability and he's got aggression inside him. It isn't right for everybody, is it?
No, not at all. No.
I never saw Cloughie being aggressive.
No.
I'm not. After I left, after 3 years I was there, I saw a lot of it. I never saw him coming in us bollockings.
I think the good managers, the great managers, the elite managers know exactly what buttons to press and when to press those buttons.
Brilliant.
And
brilliant. You're 100% right.
You know, and going back
and that's why they get it right more often than not.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to Salah, or Mo Salah, whatever his name is, you look at him, Salah's been one of the great Premier League players, you know, in modern times for Liverpool and in this country as well.
Look at him.
Frustrated as hell, waiting on that bench for about 12 minutes to go when Liverpool need goals, and he would be seething. And yeah, okay, he come out with it. He'd had a few words. The manager probably had a little bit of a spat. It'd all be a storm in a teacup.
There's
and they'll
something
sort
wrong
it out.
there. Listen, there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
With Klopp.
We've still maintained that. Because I'm going to
tell you this now, whether people like it or not.
Yeah.
Klopp is to blame for them not winning a trophy.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's gone bollocks to you lot. I don't mean the fans. I'm on about the board. There's something not right with that. What I was going to say to you, the boy at Hull.
Yeah.
What's his name? I played against his dad. Managed to come
on. Oh God, yeah, I like him. He used to be a pundit. Rosenia.
Right, I played against his dad.
Yeah.
Before Rooney got the job, they were playing some good football. He was a coach and then he took over part-time manager.
Yeah, he did.
Right? They play out from the back.
Yeah, they
don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, they look a good footballing team.
Yeah.
And they will probably come straight back down.
Yeah.
Right? But we don't know that. I mean, look at Ipswich and what they've done this year. The Premier League is a different story.
Of course it is, because they're better players.
Right? And they're only better players because they fetch better coaches in and better foreign players in. Right? And we're lost. Our coaches are lost. They don't know how to handle it.
Yeah. But hopefully young Liam will get them up, if not this season, but the next season. Because again, if you're playing that way, you're playing football, that's the right way to play football. But again, going back to Salah, he would have been absolutely seething. And
well, he was.
And I think at the end of the season, he will go to Saudi. Whether there's been anything, fallout with him, because the Saudis were after him for a lot of money.
Well, Klopp's going anyway, so that doesn't make any difference.
No, I know, but before that, with Salah having a bit of a sulk.
He's a Muslim, and he'll go back. I mean, they're getting massive money in that.
100%. And Klopp.
So I think he will go back. I mean, what is he, 34?
He's around that age now. I mean, Liverpool are going to sell him.
You can see he's lost that little bit of pace.
Yeah, of course he has. Yeah. And maybe
a
little bit of the hunger.
That happens to all the people what are quick.
Yeah. And maybe a little bit of hunger as well.
You cannot do anything about age, Gabby.
Of course you can't. No, he creeps up on all of us. But whether he was a little bit pissed off that he didn't get that move, his dream move that he thought that he was going to get, there's a lot of things that's gone on at Liverpool.
I'm sure if he'd have wanted that dream move, he'd have gone.
Maybe.
No, I'm sure he would have gone.
Yeah. But anyhow, he hasn't. He's still at Liverpool. Klopp's going. He did announce it to the club. It
in
looked,
January.
Yeah, but before,
Why?
But at the beginning of the season, he told him he was leaving. It didn't come out until January, or I think he told him in November, didn't he? And it come out in January. But I think that the press had got wind of it. They were going to write a story about it, so they've just pretty much owned the story, come out and stopped that scoop of a story. And to be fair, at the beginning, Liverpool's form wasn't in question. It's only now in question because of things that have gone wrong. The wheels have fallen off that bus. But
what everybody talked about once it came out.
Well, again, it's the story, isn't it? You know,
right.
and maybe it is distracting. But I just wonder, and we've wondered on this podcast: is there more to Klopp leaving Liverpool? Because I don't buy into the fact that Klopp's tired.
Gabby,
I don't get that.
He has got a lot of good young players.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
but he's still got a lot of top players.
Yeah.
What should have been playing?
Absolutely.
And he's played these kids a lot.
Yeah.
When he should have been playing, when they're injured, fetch him in. Right, and then maybe next year they get that experience where they could throw him in like Fergie did.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've been told. I have definitely been told by a good source. But you still have to be proven that it's a true story.
Yeah.
That he's fallen out with the people because he's been able to run the football club. Now he's been told he's not going to be able to run the football club.
Well, again, that would make more sense, wouldn't it, than saying that he's tired. I do think that if the manager hasn't got control on everything at the football club, it is time to leave the football club. But going back to my magic moments, Phoenix Patterson's free kick for Fleetwood against Burton, thought it was absolutely fantastic. And Derby getting promoted, but why the hell did they give them a cup and the promotion? I mean, they come second in the league. And well done to Derby and well done to Portsmouth.
Brilliant Derby County.
Absolutely.
A fantastic football club.
And great fans.
You know, nobody's got a divine right to be anywhere. But let me tell you something. Football clubs like Derby County should not be playing Championship 2 football or 1 football.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? But to give somebody a trophy for finishing second, the world is cracking up. Whether people like it or not, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
Well done. Right? You've deserved it because we've always had 2 teams get promoted.
Yeah.
All right. For a long time we've had the playoffs now, but in my time a lot of it was to do with the first 2, and then they fetched the first 3.
Yeah, 2 up, 2 up, 2
and
down.
Then they fetched. You know, I mean, when you finish 3rd and then you have to play the playoff and don't go up, that's cruel.
It is. I mean, Leeds United or Ipswich will have that.
You worked all season.
Yeah.
And you might have hit a bad patch at the wrong time of the season, back end of the season, and you don't go up.
Absolutely spot on.
So to give anyone a trophy for finishing second, pathetic.
Absolutely. And what's also pathetic too, of course, when they get to the playoff final at Wembley, they're going to get another trophy. So 1, 2 and 3 gets trophies. It's just absolutely crazy. But talking of trophies, a trophy won today, the FA Sunday Cup. The Trooper won the cup today. They beat Home Bargains FC from Liverpool 2-1 at the Bet365 Stadium. My son-in-law, Curran, was there with his mates, as was Troy Deeney, because young Ellis, Troy's younger brother, was playing for the Trooper. So well done to all at the Trooper. The Happy Trooper pub no longer there in Chelmsley Wood, but the Trooper team that carries the name of the Trooper pub, I think they run out of the 3 Cs these days. Winners, the greatest team of Sunday League football. So well done to the Trooper.
I'm driving down from Janet's.
Yeah.
And put the radio on because I was listening to radio going up, the game.
Yeah.
Would be Forest and Manchester City. Anyway, 606 has come on.
Yeah.
And it mentioned Shirebrook and Wakefield.
Okay.
Well, Jock plays for Aubrey in that league.
Yeah.
And they've finished in the playoffs, Shirebrook and Wakefield. And I thought, what are these? What's Savage and Celtic man and Norwich man,
Chris
play with Blackburn.
Chris Sutton.
Talking about Shirebrook and Wakefield. Well, what's happened? They're going to have to play in a neutral ground because Shirebrook, they booked a wedding for that day. So that's a disadvantage for Shirebrook having to play at a neutral ground. How unbelievable can that be? That your club secretary or whoever deals with all that type of what is it, sponsor work on sponsorships and everything. So
you'd be having a word with the bride there, wouldn't you?
It's unbelievable, Jeff.
I'd be having a word with the bride. I mean, my daughter's getting married in June.
By the way, that wedding's cancelled. You have to find
Oh God, imagine that. Sorry, Bab, but your big day's been knackered because we're in the playoffs.
Can you imagine Man United cancel a game because I've got a wedding?
Or can you bring your wedding forward because we need the pitch at 3:00, and we'll put you up at a decent hotel in Shirebrook. Oh, fantastic! Well done to Solihull Moors as well. At Wembley again. Yeah, I mean, I was there early days of the Moors. In fact, we done a little podcast documentary thing where one of them drones. We had one of the drones. Birmingham, was it? Yeah, Birmingham City. They played Solihull Moors, pre-season friendly, and we put the drone up. And the players were up. They just all stopped on the pitch as if say, "What the hell's going on?"
Because it's right by the final last season.
Was it Grimsby?
Yes, it was Grimsby.
Grimsby won it, McAtee. Then I'm sure it was McAtee.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. But yeah, this time hopefully at Wembley. And as I say, that club was in a right state. Only 2,500 people used to turn up. Marcus Bignett was the manager. I used to do the Moore show, so I would be there every week talking to the players and fans, etc. And I used to invite a few pros down. Dean Holdsworth come down one of the days with us, Joe Gallagher. I think Paul Devlin was there. So we were trying to make a little bit of a go of it. But what these fellas have done now at Solihull Moors is absolutely superb, and it'd be great to see them in the Football League. So all the best to Solihull Moors at Wembley. Great fitting and a great end to a fantastic football season. Strange but true, talking of FA. In the early years of the FA Cup, it was common for Scottish and Irish clubs to be admitted into the competition. On the 4th of December 1886, Partick Thistle won 11-0 at Cliftonville. What a great away win, eh? Fantastic.
I've always said that Scottish football used to be in our FA Cup.
Yeah, and Irish, yeah. In fact, Nottingham Forest are the only club to have been drawn against an English, Irish, Scottish and Welsh club in the FA Cup. Forest are the only club to have done that. But yeah, in the early days, and Queen's Park famously got to the final twice, didn't they? Those were the good old days when we used to have the Scots and the Irish. Mind you, with the way the FA Cup's going, it might not be a bad idea to bring them back. Pundits and fans too, see these days, obsessed with stats and numbers.
Well, hang on a bit. The FA Cup is being ruined by the above.
Absolutely. No replays, absolute disgrace. We covered that last week.
They've killed the FA Cup. The FA Cup was as big as winning the league title.
I think it was probably bigger back in our day, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
Because we had the league championship, etc., and what have you. But the biggest day in the football calendar was the FA Cup final. That was the big. Okay, I know you played 42 games and you won the league, but the focus and the eyes of the world was on the FA Cup final. And you're right, when Man United pulled out when the FA wanted to get the 2006 World Cup in Germany, and they played in that World Club tournament. That really. It was probably the first nail in the coffin of the FA Cup, and since that, with managers putting out substandard sides,
they were trying to get rid of it, but that was a big part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's hope it can be resurrected, because it is still the greatest cup competition in the world.
I don't think it'll be resurrected in our lifetime.
No, I don't think it will, but I'd like to see it, because I believe it's one of the only cups that's given a lid. And the purpose of giving the lid was to keep all that magic into the FA Cup. So let's hope that we can get that magic back. Pundits and fans, TC, obsessed with stats and numbers. It does my head in. All you hear of looking at his numbers.
My kids are saying.
Does my head in.
Because
I hate it.
That's what they've been brought up with, Gabby.
Yeah, I know. It does my. I can't stand it. I feel like booting the television setting or the radio. In fact, I turn it off a lot of times when I hear this, because I just don't want to listen to it. It's muppetry, and I think it's stupid. And all you hear is Yeah, but look at his numbers. Look
Do
at
you know
his
when you get on
assists.
that football field,
Crazy.
you start breathing out your backside,
Yeah.
and then you get a second wind.
Yeah.
So when they get these analysts on, telling managers, "Oh, you got to come on because it's tired now," it baffles me, because if a manager can't see whether a player is tired or not, then he shouldn't even be managing the team. He shouldn't be managing the team.
Absolutely not. I look at how a player is playing, and if I watch a player and he plays well and I like the player, I'll watch the player again, and then I watch the player and I keep watching the player and that club because I like watching the player. All right, he might not be scoring loads of goals, he might not be assisting loads of goals, but he's playing a great game of football, and I like to watch him play football. I watch with my eyes, not stats.
I would go to Ireland to see how many goals he would have got. He may not, but how many more goals he would have got if Guardiola would have left him on and picked him and moved Joe to the games.
Yeah. I mean,
because Messi never misses a game.
No.
Ever.
No.
I mean, Ronaldo never misses a game.
I think it's probably written in their contracts, if I'm absolutely honest. You must, if I'm fit, you must play me in every game, and please do not take me off.
Do you ever see them look tired?
No, not at all, no.
They're not no fitter than anybody else.
Of course they're not, no. I mean,
they're not fitter than anybody else, the other elite players.
Yeah.
But they never miss a game.
I asked Big Ron about this, about tired. He said, "Hey, let me tell you."
And I know why. Yes, they're absolutely superstars.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't afford to leave them up because they can get you a goal, make you a goal, and bring fans into the stadium.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm getting at is when you look at them, they never look tired.
No.
So I wonder what they're having.
Well, who knows? I mean, there's always been a little bit of a suggestion about supplements, etc., and it's always been, prevalent in sport. I mean, as early as the 1954 World Cup final, the Germans took something at half time, and that's fact. What they actually took, we don't know.
They always talk about the Russians with the Olympics and football.
Absolutely. It's always been the way, wherever you've got, an endurance-based sport. You look at cycling, probably the hardest endurance sport on the planet, and most of them. I mean, you look at there's an Olympic Games now. They want to take a drug. I don't know what they call it now, but it's pretty much a drug-related Olympic Games where you can take as many drugs as you like. It's open season. I mean, it's just absolutely laughable. But it is what it is with sport, and wherever there's money, there's corruption. Going back to offside rule, I mean, we've had some great debate on the Curran view this week about the offside and all these bloody lines being drawn. My stance has always been and always will be, let's go back to when you needed daylight between the attacker and the defender, or if any part of your body is onside, you're onside. You won't need to draw these stupid lines then.
They were going to
VAR won't be needed.
For goal line technology.
Yeah, they've got it.
Why have they brought it in for everything else?
Well, they want to re-ref a game. Why do you want to re-ref a game? You've got a referee. You undermine the referees. You've made the referees poorer for VAR being about, because the amount of referees now that miss penalties, how many times do you see a penalty now given by VAR rather than a referee? It's unbelievable. You're never in the good old days. And championship football and below, it's refreshing to watch a game. You look across, if the linesman ain't got his flag up, bang, it's a goal, no question. And Sweden have kicked out VAR. They don't want VAR. We don't have to have. Yeah, we don't have to have VAR. Get VAR.
I bet Sweden. I bet Sweden wish they'd kicked all of the immigrants out of the country. They won't be in a mess like it's in.
Well,
they're right. That's a great shout. That what they've done.
Well, VAR, kick that out of the country straight away. We could do that, but we're not going to sign up to it, because you know what the FA are like. They want to tick all the boxes, etc., etc. They want the referees to be running the game. The FA are spineless. They won't do nothing about it. They're about as much use as a chocolate fire guard. And therefore we've got VAR and we've got these lines being drawn.
When the Premier League breaks away, the elite break away.
Yeah, we'll do, Super League.
I bet you they don't have VAR when they break away.
No, probably won't. Probably won't, no.
They won't. I guarantee you they won't have it.
But it would be nice if we could go back to a game where we haven't got VAR and go back to an offside rule where you need
there is
daylight.
nothing wrong with trying to bring new ideas in.
Absolutely.
But
what do you think
not
about
at the
bonus
cost
points?
of things what's going right.
What do you think about bonus points for football? I.e., if you score 5 goals in a game, you get an extra point.
I was one what were against.
Yeah.
3 points for a win.
Got ya.
And people said to me, why wouldn't you go along with that? I said, do you think that'll make teams play more attacking football?
Mm.
And has it? No.
Probably not.
Because no, it hasn't.
Yeah.
It's always the same teams.
Yeah.
And the only reason why Chelsea came into that group of teams is because of Abramovich.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you got extra points for scoring, say, 4 goals or 5 goals or more, do you think a bonus point would benefit attacking teams? And if you didn't have a shot on goal,
don't use Gabby. Look at it. Look at it now.
Yeah.
The gap now has got worse from teams coming into the Premier League from the Championship
without a doubt.
It's ever been.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You can turn round and say, well, there's better players. Yes, there is.
Yeah. So would bonus points make it worse?
All these teams what come up, majority of them teams do not want to attack anybody else. They want to try and not get beat.
Absolutely.
So it's more defensive.
Yep.
It's more defensive. Right? The only way you're going to do that, you've got to say to the teams, you've got to attack.
Yeah.
You've got to attack. But that doesn't mean that you don't know how to defend when you haven't got the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Manchester City defend when they haven't got the ball.
They defend.
I don't think they have to defend as hard as anybody else because everybody seems to give it back straight away.
Exactly. They've got the ball more often than not, so they don't have to, exactly. But
they pass
when
it with more accuracy than any other team.
But when they haven't got the ball, you're right, they get in the shape and they make sure that they're hard to play through and they defend
get in the shape
properly.
for 2 reasons, because the opposition give them the ball.
Again, that's another good
reason.
They're too slow.
And most importantly, right, the tempo is too slow.
Absolutely.
It gives them time to get back.
So do you think bonus points would be a positive or a negative? If you add bonus points,
it will only be
negative,
a positive for the league clubs. You know, the rest of them.
Yeah.
Could you see David Moyes playing attacking team for getting an extra point by winning 3-0?
Yeah.
Do you think he'd go down that line?
So
seriously?
Do you think then going back to 2 points for a win instead of 3 would be better for the game? And in terms of promotion, back to 2 up and 2 down. And if the 3 that come up keep going down from the Premier League to the Championship, will there be a point where they'll say, look, we're going to have just 1 up and 1 down? Because there's no point.
They'll go down that, what they call it, route now, the elite route. And then you'll always get the promotions the other way round.
Yeah.
See, we have too many clubs, in a sense.
Yeah.
What are capable of getting results, aren't they?
Yes.
It's a good fan base. It's really now we've got 5 leagues in this.
Yeah, we have, absolutely.
Now, what I'm trying to get at is majority of our coaches are going to go down the route of defending because they don't want to get beat 4 or 5-0.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Man United will go for that extra point. Liverpool will go for that extra point. Man City.
Yeah, the big clubs
Tottenham and Arsenal go for that extra point.
Small clubs won't, yeah.
Right? But if you've got a George Graham managing Arsenal today, and a Mourinho managing a Chelsea today,
1-0 to the Arsenal.
Do you think they would go for that extra point?
No.
Right then.
No. So bonus
points. And I don't want to be a spoil sport because I'm for anything what's going to make it more exciting.
Absolutely.
Enjoyable to watch.
And that's all we want to. And that's why we talk about these things on the Curran View podcast.
You can give them 2 extra points and they'll not do it.
Absolutely. Shirt sponsorship tee. Who was the first team to have a sponsorship on their shirt?
Well, I'm not gonna say, Gabby, because you already told me today.
Yeah, I know, but I
But
didn't
before
know.
you tell everybody else
Mhm.
it, right? Before you tell everybody else it, I was telling you,
Mhm.
I would have been the first player in history
Yeah.
to have sponsors on his shirt.
Mhm.
Because I got a sponsored car from Gilders, right? And they offered me £900 a week to have the. And I said to Sheffield Wednesday, I said to Jack Charles, don't pay me a wage, I'll play for nothing.
Yep.
And Jack said, well, it's not down to me, it's down to the club. And the chairman at the time, which was Bert McGee, said no. And then you tell me when that football club, and I'm not going to say it because at the end of the day, you've already told me, and I don't want to take anything away or as though I knew it because I didn't know it. I didn't know the answer, but you tell them.
But so the company offered
Was
you
Gilders. It's Volkswagen.
Gilders.
They sell Volkswagen cars.
So they offered you £900 a week.
Yeah.
To have, the shirt sponsor on your be sponsored by Gilders.
Gilders across the front of my shirt.
Yeah. So Terry Curran, Gilders, 900. What was your weekly
Well, it
wage
wouldn't
at
be
Wednesday?
Terry Curran, it would just been Gilders.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but give it
£300.
So you would have had 3 times your wages by being sponsored by Gilders and playing for Sheffield Wednesday
and
for
that is
nothing.
A true story.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
And listen, I told you today.
Yeah.
When I signed for Sheffield United,
Mm-hmm.
I got booked, and Major Braley put me into office.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, this is another bollocking I'm going to get. Right, and I don't know about football clubs today, but they got all the local. They got not local, but they had all the national rags.
Yeah.
Mail, Daily Mail, Star, Sun, Daily Express, and all them papers at football clubs. Right. He said, sit down, and he said to me, there's a photograph of me with the United shirt on and the badge. He said, you see that? It's priceless. My face was on back page at all papers. Yorkshire side of it, not Liverpool side of it, because like in Liverpool, they get the Manchester, the Manchester side of it, won't they?
Yeah.
And London, they get the London side of it. We got the Yorkshire side of it. And he was saying to me, so I'm getting bollocking at Sheffield Wednesday for getting booked. And at Sheffield United, he's praising me. Because what he was saying to me, he said, we can't buy that publicity. It costs us a fortune.
You couldn't make it up, and
you can't make it up, can you?
You can't win either way, can you?
I got fined £100. But Jack said he was fining me £100 because I retaliated.
Yeah.
Right, and got booked, and I refused to pay it. And he got a little safe in, and his secretary Norma. Right, I remember John Harris coming down to the dressing room and said, Jack wants to see you, because he was telling me on Monday I was paying that fine.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not paying no fine. I'm not paying no fine. I guarantee you. You're not taking nothing out of my wages. He got £100 out of the safe. I had photographs taken with me, handing him over £100. Right? And put in the papers, a fine coming £100. So you got one club telling me, we can't buy that. It costs us a fortune to get that advertisement in. So you never, listen, I won't believe anything what they tell you in football.
Absolutely. So Jack gives you the £100. You give it him back, and he finds your £100. Happy days. The first shirt sponsorship was Derby County, who wore a top featuring the Saab sponsor once.
Hang on a bit, you.
Once for a photo shoot.
Hang on a bit, you.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't mention it, because you told me today when we were talking.
I told you a story of Wolves.
By the way, I'm just telling people, we don't talk about what was happening. He wanted me to do this podcast tomorrow, and I said yes, but I realised I'm at a do in Sheffield.
Yes.
So we got talking, and I was telling you about the sponsors.
Yeah.
You were telling me, well, Wolves with David Dugan.
And I told you a story about Joe, how Joe got sacked for not appearing on a team photograph. Because the players wanted something, a camera.
Well, I would have said Wolves, because that's what we're talking about anyway. So
Derby, they wore it for a team photo. They only wore it once. But the first, because what I'd done then, as soon as we'd spoken, I went on to Google and I had a look to see who was the first one. and it was Coventry City. They were
Jimmy Hill that year.
Yep, they pioneered the first shirt sponsorship in 1978 after they were sponsored by Talbot, all part of the Sky Blue
I remember that. Yeah, I
Revolution
remember Talbot
by
on their
Jimmy Hill.
shirts.
Yeah, and they were the Coventry City.
When I joined
were
Derby
the first.
County, that was part of my signing on it to Southampton because I had a sponsored car, Saab.
Okay, yeah.
I had a cab sponsored car.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but you were about that. I remember that when I went to Derby, we used to have sponsored Saabs.
And then after pretty much every football club run sponsorships. We are going to be running a little bit late, TC, this week. So there is just a couple of things that I want to cram into before we get on to our football forecast. Book corner, Immortal Torino, how the Supercar air crash robbed Italian football of their champions by Roberto Panino. And I've actually got that book, so I'm not a fan of Torino, but it fascinates me. The Supergar air disaster. It's terrible how pretty much every player in the Torino, Il Grande Torino side were also Italian international football players. And I think in the one game, might have been against Hungary, every player that played for Italy played for Torino. So the Italian national team pretty much was Torino, and they lost every player in the Supergar air crash. Terrible. On the 4th of May 1949. So this year is the 75th anniversary, and probably the reason why this book.
When was the Manchester
Torino.
United? Wasn't that May 8th or something?
No, that was February, wasn't it?
February.
February 1958. So 58 Munich, and 49 was Torino. Second up, the greatest comeback from genocide to football glory, the story of the great Bela Gutman by David Bolshova, and tremendous book out in 2017. It was shortlisted for the William Hill Sports Book of the Year. Bela Gutman was the Benfica manager who won the European Cup twice with Benfica, then put a curse on him because he went for a pay rise. They wouldn't give it, so he walked out and said, "You'll never win anything ever again. You'll never win a European Cup again." They've got to 8 finals and lost every one, so perhaps Bella did know something about it. But yeah, he was on the way to a concentration camp, done a bunk, and inside these pages of this book, The Greatest Comeback, tells a story from genocide to football glory, the great Bela Gutman. And
fantastic.
Torino, Immortal Torino, Erbstein, The Triumph and Tragedy of Football's Forgotten Pioneer by Dominic Bliss. Herb Ernstein was the manager of the great Torino, El Grande Torino side, and he was on a train again for a concentration camp with Bela Gutman. They were talking about football, and both of them decided to do a bunk. Bela then went off and took European Championship glory, European Cup with Benfica, and Erbstein created the great. Well, he was there before the war and after the war. The great El Grande Torino, Erbstein, The Triumph and Tragedy of Football's Forgotten Power by Dominic Bliss. So 3 great books there to read. And we've linked up with past heroes in our Legends Lounge. And I just want to go through the career of Leighton James. We lost Leighton a couple of weeks ago, born on the 16th of February 1953 in Swansea. Sadly passed away on the 19th of April this year. Went to Burnley 70 to 75, scoring 45 goals in 180 league games. Then moved to Derby County 75 to 77, scoring 15 times, 68 league games. Moving to West London, Shepherd's Bush 77 to 78, 28 games in the league he played, scoring 4. Went back to Burnley 78 to 80, scoring 9 times in 76 games. And then moved to his boyhood Town or City, because it was Swansea Town originally and then moved to Swansea City, 80 to 83, scoring 27 goals in 88 games. Got no idea. I think it was around the time that Toshak took over, wasn't it, at Swansea, and Swansea had a real good fist of it. Moved to Sunderland in 83 to 84, scoring 4 times in 52 games. Bury was next, 84-85, 5 goals in 46 games. And then before moving back to Burnley in 86, where he finished his career in 89, playing 79 league games and scoring 13 goals. He was part of the team in 85 to 86 of Newport County, scoring twice in 28 league games. The great Leighton James. What a great left winger was Neil Leighton. Sadly, at the age of, what was it, 70, 71, passed away a couple of weeks ago.
I know, it's just a great player and all.
I mean, we had some great wingers, and Leighton was up there, wasn't he? You know, them.
It was one of the best. Well, Derby County put a transfer record 300,000.
Yeah.
Great player, absolutely great player.
And in that Burnley team, you wouldn't have fancied being a fullback playing against them, because on the left wing you got Leighton James, on the right wing you got Dave Thomas.
Yeah,
I mean,
what two great? They were two great. By the way, they produced some great wingers. Them, Willie Morgan, another one.
Yeah, they. I mean, again, Burnley, a great team of the 60s and the 70s, a great youth policy. Love to see Burnley stay up. I like Burnley and I like Forest, and to be fair, I quite like Luton. But Burnley in the 70s, I thought a great side, and in Leighton James had one of the best left wingers, and in Dave Thomas had one of the great right wingers.
Brilliant.
As well, TC. Last week we drew 4-4. So it's
still... Are you kidding me? I thought I won it.
I can't
believe we've drawn that.
Do you know what? You were winning.
What happened?
Manchester City won 2-0 today, and I had the correct score of 2-0. You went 3-0, and if it had been 3-0, you'd have absolutely spanked me this week. But because it was 2-0, I got it back. I got Birmingham as a draw with Huddersfield, and we both predicted Derby County to beat Carlisle. You also predicted Donny for a draw, and you also predicted Everton. So you got 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 points, because you've corrected 4 right, and I got 3 right, but I got double bubble for Manchester City winning 2-0. So it's 4-4, and it's 10-12 in favour of me. This weekend promises to be an absolute cracker tea. Birmingham have got Norwich, Ipswich have got Huddersfield, Leicester have got Blackburn, Plymouth have got Hull, and Wednesday are away to Sunderland. Currently, 2 have gone. Rotherham are down, Huddersfield are down. Birmingham are in the bottom 3, 47 points. Plymouth on 48, and Wednesday and Blackburn on 50. Blackburn's goals are minus 16. Wednesday's is minus 26. So if Birmingham win and Wednesday lose, Wednesday get relegated because they've got a terrible goal difference. Plymouth is minus 12 and Birmingham is the same as Blackburn on minus 16. So Wednesday really need at least a draw, because if they don't and Birmingham do win, Wednesday are below Birmingham City because of that worst goal difference, which is, and again, when a team wins and a team loses, it just makes the goal difference worse. And at the moment, it's 10 difference. So Friday night we've got Everton versus Luton, but it's played at Luton at Kenilworth Road. So how do you see the Toffees going away at Luton? Already safe now, to be fair.
I'm going to go for a 2-0 Everton.
2-0 Everton.
The reason why, I'm laying my heart rule my head. I think Luton have done terrific. They play some good football. Everton is safe. But they are playing well now, Everton. I think so. I'm going to go because I want them to do Nottingham Forest a favour.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
That's why I've gone for a 2-0.
I'm going to go 2-3. I'm going to go for an Everton win because I think, as you say, Everton are safe. They're playing without fear. if you didn't have them 10 points taken off Everton this season, they would be well clear of any drop zone anyhow. They're not as bad as it looks because of the points
Well,
that
the
they've
same
had
as Forest.
deducted.
Forest would have been safe, I think, without those 4 points. Is it four? How
Absolutely.
many points did he get?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure without looking at it, but I don't know if it was 3 or 4 that Forest have had. And did they? I mean, Everton did have a number of points. I can't remember because they had points taken and then they had points given back. And you know, I just wish if you're going to deduct points from a team, then you should deduct them at the beginning of the season, not during the season, because it's very complicated. But Everton are safe and would be much safer had they not have had the points taken off them. And I think Luton's problem is defending. They haven't been that bad going forward, but defending concede a lot of goals, and they've fallen into some iffish form just of late. So I can see Everton winning that. Forest, I'm going to go 3-1 away win at Sheffield United on Saturday. And good luck to Forest. How do you see this one too?
Who's playing Sheffield United?
Forest. They've got to go Sheffield United.
Yeah, I'm going for a 2-0 Forest.
2-0 to Forest. Ipswich versus Huddersfield. How do you see this one going?
3-0 Ipswich.
I'm going to change mine then. I'm I'm going to go 4-0 because I had the 3-0. Leeds versus Southampton. I'm going to go 2-2. I mean, they're both in the playoffs.
I'm going to go
Nothing's going to happen.
2-0. I'm going to go 2-0. Are they both in playoffs now?
Yeah, both in the playoffs, aren't they? Well, oh, sorry. No, Leeds could still do it automatically, but
I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds.
But Ipswich have got that game in hand. So if Ipswich do win it, I don't think Leeds have got anything to play for. And I can't see Ipswich at this stage being beaten. So I'm going to go for a 2-2. What are you going 2-0 to Leeds?
Leeds, yeah.
I mean, if Leeds can't get into the automatic places because Ipswich win that game in hand, what would you do? Would you put the reserve team out against Southampton and rest the players for the playoffs?
Well, I look at it like this.
Mm.
Win what's in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, I see it all the time, this, resting players, and then they start to play bad, these teams.
Yeah.
You want to keep the momentum. You want to be confident going into these games.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it, but I understand. Well, I don't understand. It baffles me why they do it.
So win, lose or draw, Leeds play the strongest team against Southampton.
Yeah, I would.
Yep. You think they'll win 2-0.
That's what I would do.
And I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Sunderland versus Sheffield Wednesday. How do you see this one going to? It's a game.
Sheffield Wednesday.
It's a game. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a game that Wednesday must win, or not so much must win, but must get at least a point. Yeah, if they lose, it could be trouble ahead. But if they get at least a draw, Birmingham cannot get above Sheffield Wednesday.
Can Birmingham go Plymouth?
Birmingham can go. Yeah. If Plymouth lose,
Plymouth could go down then.
Yeah. I think my honest opinion is, and by the way, I'm going to go for
Plymouth got?
I'm going to go for a 1-2 Wednesday. Plymouth are at home to Hull. Now Hull,
I fancy Hull to beat them.
Yeah, I do. Hull are going to be all guns blazing because they still, if results go their way, can get in. Birmingham are playing Norwich, and Norwich really, I mean, there's a 7-goal difference. 7 goals needs to.
Norwich will rest 1 or 2. I guarantee you that's what they do, them teams.
I don't think they will.
Same as Southampton, they will rest.
Because they need, if there's a 7-goal swing or turnaround.
That's what they would do.
No, but what I'm saying is, with Norwich City, Hull are on 70, Norwich are on 73. If Norwich get beat, say 3-0 by Birmingham or 2-0 by Birmingham, and Hull beat Plymouth, say 3 or 4-0, then Norwich aren't in the playoffs. Hull will be in the playoffs. So Norwich need really at least a point against Birmingham.
Even if they played a weaker team, could you see Birmingham winning 3-0, 4-0?
No, I can't see Birmingham beating them. I think it'll be a draw at best.
I could see them beating them.
I can't. I think Norwich are a decent team.
Oh, no, a very good footballing team.
And Norwich
What I'm
need.
trying to say is, it's Hull will beat Plymouth. The
100%.
difference is, it's like Sheffield Wednesday cannot afford to lose because of the goal difference.
Absolutely, yeah.
Norwich won't concede 7 goals.
No, what I'm saying is, say Hull score 3, 4, or even 5 against Plymouth.
Can you see that happening?
Yeah.
No.
I can. I could see Hull beating them 5-0.
No.
I mean,
no, that won't happen, man. I tell you what, I fancy Hull to win 1-0.
Yeah.
Right, because they'll make it tight. They'll want to try and win 1-0. Plymouth. That means Birmingham.
Who was that team? Last season, I'm sure it was, were in a similar position. There was something like a 7-goal swing, and it was like, nah, got no chance. And it happened, and they didn't get promoted. I can't remember who it was.
I'll tell you what should have been looked into.
I can't remember who it was, and it doesn't really matter. And you wouldn't think that a 7-goal swing could happen, but if I was the manager, I'd be making sure it doesn't happen, because my team are going to get at least a draw. So
anyway, we're going to wait and see now.
Absolutely.
The following week.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time this weekend, TC. All of the football season, the regular season, will finish. All the results are going to be
in a great time if your team doesn't get relegated. So I'm hoping my team's going to go out and get a result up at Sunderland.
Absolutely. So all the best to all the teams. We will reconvene in a couple of weeks, T. We'll chew the fat over this week's scores, results, etc., the promotions, the relegations, and we'll be looking forward to the Euros and to the European finals and the playoff finals as well. So till next week, T, or the week after, T. All the best. Yep. See you soon, mate.
See you. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra. Thanks for listening all. Bye for now. Ta-ra a bit. Bye-bye.